Let's not forget that the awning, the after edge of the awning, overlaps the hatch to the after cabin by a lot. There's quite an overlap there. Certainly enough to handle dripping, and as a matter of fact it seems to be enough to handle a light rain. But then when the hatch is closed,
you have a really generous overlap to prevent rain from getting in the after end of the awning into the cockpit.
This thing is also a water catchment right here.
okay, so there's the jug, and there's the tube going up to the little gutter that's formed along the edge of the awning here by the wide hem. You can take it and curl it up and clamp it around a piece of hose and pick up a lot of rainwater right here. Well, we picked up some. That's about a minute in the light rain.
Well, maybe 2 minutes.
Well, there's one more feature of the cockpit and Dodger awning combination I want to show you.
The hammock slings from the mast winches down through the open hatch and up to the outboard end of the boom.
And you can get into some serious napping out here. You're underneath this double insulated awning. It's got the side flaps thrown up on top, so you've got 4 layers of sunbrella and 2 layers of insulation, so you got black shade in here, huh?
And the best thing is that when the boat rocks, you rock, and furthermore you're up in the breeze and the shade. Well, perhaps that's enough about the whole cockpit arrangement, at least for the time being. We're not done yet. But for the moment, let's go and have a look at Scrimshaw's rudder and motor installation. The outboard mounts on a dead rise bracket. Note that the deep cold molded V in the bottom of the sled. It pins to the hull through this aluminum plate bolted onto the cabin side, and also the other end of the pin goes into another plate at the hull side. The sled is lowered down just to the point where in calm water the tip of the V dead rise just kisses the surface.
So there's the black line on the hull, the black spot on the hull. It goes back to that point, in which case you stuff it into that clam cleat, and that's about the proper running altitude for the outboard motor. And even when the motor is in the down position, the running position, the hull is not only cleated off here, but also here to make sure that you don't drop the motor.
And the hull has to attach to something really solid. Note that this lifeline is very securely fastened to the cabin side. And you also have 4 parts of purchase. The whole arrangement has to be strong enough so that you can get down there and actually walk on the top of the bracket. It has to be that strong.
And there's a big eye bolt here, actually a towing eye that goes through the hull and bolts to a doubler inside. It's a very secure position, very strong. And there's a piece of 1/4 inch cable that is nickel pressed around that eye bolt and goes down around the throat of the engine, just underneath the motor head. And that line cannot be removed without removing this eye bolt. And to do that, or a U-bolt, and in order to do that, you have to get inside the boat in order to remove the nuts.
So there's no lock as such, just wire.
So if you do drop the motor with the lifting haul tackle, it'll stop at the end of this pendant, this wire pendant, and prevent it from going into the water. And that thing is adjusted so that in the maximum down position, as far down as you can put the motor, so with the motor haul slacked out all the way, the motor in the bracket will drop down until this cable becomes tight. And at that point the motor won't drop any further, it won't drop into the water. It would be very rare that you'd have to lower it that much while running.